Well guys, today we got to talk about Tilray stock and GE stock. Two stocks that aren't related at all, but Tilray has absolutely crashed through the floor and GE stock just hit its lowest it's been since honestly the Great Recession happened, okay? So we got to talk about both these stocks. There's something really scary going on out there that I think is that we got to talk about. It's in regards to Tilray stock and just kind of a lot of the financial space right now. So if you remember last week, I released a video on this channel. It's called "This is the Biggest Bubble I have ever seen in the stock market," is in regards to the pot stocks and specifically Tilray. I said that was the face of this massive bubble going on. Since that time, that was the day Tilray hit like $300 a share. Since that time, Tilray has fallen to under $100 a share in 3 trading days, down over 53% in 3 trading days, guys, okay? We'll get into GE stock in just a minute, but I want to point out 3 things in regards to this situation that really scares me, okay? The first is bubbles are made faster and popped faster than they have ever been before, okay? There's no other time period you can go back to and see stocks going up hundreds of percent and then just absolutely crashing through the floor within a few days span, especially with bigger type companies. Penny stocks, it's always kind of been like that. You know, you could have some, pump and dump scheme or something go on. It pops up a penny stock and then just crashes. But we're talking about companies that have billions of dollars valuation. In Tilray's case, that one blew up to over a $20 billion valuation. If you look back at the tech bubble, it took years to get to that point and several months to a year for that bubble just to absolutely crash, okay? We're seeing this on an unprecedented scale and we're seeing it across the board. We see it with different stocks. We've seen it with cryptocurrencies. We've seen it with a lot of different things over the past year or two, and it's on an unprecedented scale like we've never seen before. I think there's something really dark going on, okay? Really scary stuff, all right? Something big is going on in the dark web, I believe, okay? The moves are flat out too violent. These moves are far too violent going on out there. Basically, what we're seeing is we're seeing these ridiculous moves, which means when you see a ridiculous move, we're talking, a stock going up 40, 50+% in a day, and they're just absolutely crashing in no time. These moves are so violent that there's some big money that's all of a sudden coming in, pumping up these stocks, getting them to go very high, and then just absolutely crashing them, okay? Trust me, the SEC and the FBI, I can guarantee you they're already looking into this. There's something going on out there. I think it started in the crypto side. I think there were some groups that started doing this in the crypto side, and what we saw in cryptocurrencies were massive, massive moves, where cryptocurrency can move 70, 80+% in a day, and the next day it goes down 30+%. We saw Bitcoin go from 20,000 to, where is it at now? 6,000, and that was in a matter of a very short amount of time. So in my opinion, there's something going on out there that's really big, some big organizations. This comes as nothing new, but I think it's just on a much bigger scale than we've ever seen before, okay? There's always been groups out there, pump and dump schemes, a lot of different things that try to get stock prices to go up in a big amount of time, try to get a lot of investors in it, and then they just sell out, they make their big profit, and then, the ones that get in last are the ones that absolutely get killed, okay? That's been around a long time in the stock market. That's nothing new. The thing that's different is, in my opinion, there's a lot more money, and this organization is a lot more sophisticated than anything we've ever seen before. So for that reason, I'm just going to say that there's something big that's going to end up going down, okay? These guys are going to get too greedy, as all individuals do, okay? They get too greedy, they go to the honey pot one too many times, and next thing you know, they fall in. There will probably be movies made about this someday, whatever is going on out there, okay? But there's something really massive, because you don't just get these moves just by normal trading activity. These are freakish type moves, something like unprecedented that you don't see in $1+ companies. It's one thing if you've got a penny stock that has a $1 million market cap and you get a few people with a couple 100,000 to go in it. Okay, that's a whole different story. But when you're talking about billions of dollars flooding in a stock at one time just to move it up like crazy, we're talking about well-funded organization. Okay, there's something going on in there. I think it started in crypto and now they're trying to move it over to stocks. But stocks is a whole different territory. Okay, there are a whole different checks and balances in stocks. It's a lot scarier place. Crypto, you can get away with a lot of stuff. You come over to the stock side, it's not going to be looking good for them over time, okay? But there's something going on out there. Trust me on that. And here's where the pot stocks are at right now. Tilray and pretty much all the companies, The question is, when hype leaves, it becomes about fundamentals. And that gets scary for a lot of these companies that have massive valuations on them, all right? Whenever you have a massive amount of hype in something, the fundamentals don't even matter. If you have enough hype in it, like people just want to jump in it, they don't care about where that company is today or whether that cryptocurrency is today or anything across the board. All it's about is hype. But when all of a sudden the hype starts to leave and you see a Tilray stock go from $300 to less than $100 in 3 or 4 trading days, all of a sudden that hype all of a sudden like timids way down. It's like, whoa, what happens here? And all of a sudden it becomes about fundamentals. And the problem is with a lot of these companies, their fundamentals are absolute garbage compared to where their valuations are. These companies would need to have unbelievably ridiculous growth over the next few years to even somewhat justify their valuations right now, all right? So the scary thing for the whole space of pot stocks right now is, man, if this hype starts to leave, and it has already started to leave, if it starts to leave in a massive way, then everything becomes about fundamentals, and the fundamentals are absolutely horrible for these companies. We went through the whole host of them the other day. You know, it's the biggest of the big, pot stocks out there, and we saw a lot of these companies have, less than $10 million in revenue per quarter, and yet have billions of dollars of valuation. They're going to need to grow at a ridiculous scale over the next few years to even begin to justify these valuations. So that's a really, really scary thing. So these are 3 things I kind of wanted to cover in regards to this Tilray stock. Whether it pops back up, it could do a dead cat bounce, as we like to call, where it pops back up and not to its all-time high or anything like that, but it pops up a little bit, maybe to a 150 level, 160 level, and then drops back down. We've seen that with a lot of things out there over time. So we'll just have to see where that one goes over time. GE shares. Let's talk about GE. So this stock dropped to its 9-year low as weak power business stumbles. The lowest GE shares have been since July of 2009 in the Great Recession, guys. Okay. GE stock's a stock I get a lot of people that ask me about, okay? In my stock market membership group, I used to get a lot, when I still read through a lot, I try to read through a lot of comments in the comment section of the YouTube videos. And what I find is a lot of people were still interested in GE going back several months. And kind of my take on GE has always been this. This company is falling apart, okay? They're trying to save it. They're trying to save it, here and there. They've been doing this for a year plus now. They're trying to save it. They're trying to piece it back together. But the issue with GE is, how are you going to get investors excited about this company when you have such limited upside and you still have such big downside? There's a company that, has sold off so many businesses that its upside is very limited at this point. What's the best case scenario with GE stock? You buy the stock and maybe it becomes an $18 stock, a $20 stock someday. Maybe that's best case scenario. But what is worst case scenario with this business? That this business could maybe go bankrupt someday, that they can't stop the bleeding. It's a falling knife. And so my opinion on GE has always been, if you're going to get into a business that is a falling knife, that is disintegrating, that they are scaling down and scaling down and scaling down and selling off parts of their business, if you're going to get in something like that, then there's going to be massive upside potential to make the risk versus reward. Everything in investing is risk versus reward. What is your risk going into that stock or whatever you're buying, and what is your potential reward? In this case, in GE's case, there's still a significant amount of risk in that stock, but there's so limited reward. Like I said, what's the best case scenario? This maybe becomes, they turn their core business around, and maybe it becomes an $18 or $20 stock. Maybe that's best case scenario. So when I look at GE's business, I'm just kind of like, why would I want to take a risk in that business? Why do I need to take a risk in that business? Out of all the other great companies that are massively profitable out there, that are at very low PEs, or a whole host of other companies that have unbelievable business models that are going for the future and that are massively profitable and have great management teams, you don't have to deal with all this stuff of a falling knife, right? It's fine to catch a falling knife every once in a while. If the business is massively profitable, if you expect it to stay massively profitable, and if it's at a ridiculously low valuation. I have a hard time making a case like that for GE when they're cutting off all their businesses, okay? That's what this company has done. So for that reason, GE has never been a stock that's interested me out there to say, let me go ahead and catch this one. And I love to catch falling knives, okay? I do it all the time. I see a stock, it falls huge. If I look at that business, I got to see a lot of reward in that stock. And generally it's in the form of them making a lot of profits and that PE just getting to a ridiculous rate where investors say, we gotta buy the stock. It's at a ridiculously low valuation. Otherwise a company could start paying out massive dividends or something like that, okay? So that's my opinion around GE. It's still in turnaround mode. Who knows if they'll get it to turn? Why do I want to buy it? All to maybe have it make a, 50% profit on or something like that? Maybe. That's best case scenario probably with that stock. Is this a stock that's really going to triple or quadruple? In my opinion, probably not, but it's still a mess of a company that they're trying to turn around. So that covers my opinion on GE. And in terms of Tilray, guys, any of those stocks that you see like that and it's tempting to just jump in it, you see it going up. I was watching Tilray that day and it was just going up and up like crazy. I was, the day I posted that video in the morning, I was watching Tilray stock and it was like 200. And even I was thinking, I was like, man, I should just throw some money in this and I could make some money on this. And it's very tempting, to just jump in a stock like that and hopefully ride it up. But then you see what ends up happening. Then you see the downside risk of this. It just is absolutely disintegrated. Down 50+% in 3 days is unreal type of bad performance there, guys. So let me know what you think about this in that comment section. What do you guys think about Tilray stock? What do you guys think about POS stocks in general? Is there one specific one you really like out there? And then what do you think about GE? Is it worth catching that falling knife or is it not even worth it? I would love to hear from you guys in that comment section. If you love to keep up with stock market news, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of stock market news on my Instagram stories. Thank you for watching and have a great day.